The Ivy League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The League of Ivy Extraordinary Gentlemen. You're listening to what we say. We said we had to say. The Ivy League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The League of Ivy Extraordinary Gentlemen. You're listening to what we say. We said we had to say.
Hey, Tony. How you doing?
Hey, Freddie, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. You been hearing about this dog facts thing, eh?
Yeah, what's going on? I feel like I see this all over the news. Dog facts this, dog facts that. It's all that everybody talking about. You know what I'm saying? They're stealing ad time from Club Sandwich. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, man. Well, basically, it's like car facts, but for your dogs. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, they give you a specific price based on your dog and its dog facts history. They tell you what your dog needs, what sort of shots, maybe if they need to snip their nuts or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It gives you all the data that you would not need in a dog before you buy the dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, get out of town. That's not a bad idea. I wish I had dog facts for when I bought Tony Jr. Jesus Christ, talk about snipping prices while they're snipping balls.
That's pretty good, Spumone. You're not bad. You're always quick on your feet. I love you, kid. Have a good one.
Yeah, here we are. Gideon's getting beamed in the face with light.
It's nice.
I don't even know how to work the blinds.
We're back at it, podcasting professionals. But blinds, that's over our heads.
Oh my god. I miss seeing that guy. It's a great 4
Jesus,
days when
this is painful to watch. Although I do know the struggle with those blinds. It is like you need multiple hands to work those things.
And I'm not gonna reach out to my landlords and have them fix it. Like, why would I do that?
No. You need
not worth ruining the relationship over.
You need the blinds from 1964 that definitely don't do anything, and like half of the things are missing.
Builds character.
Well, yeah, boys. Thanks for Cobb, to you. Thanks for giving us a push here. I know Jack and Alfonso have been just dying and begging for some content. And Erich and Skylar are just, I'm going to shout them out. I'm going to call them out right here. It's just too hard.
Let's air it out. Let's air out our grievances.
Well, yeah, it's been a few months. I was just telling Cobb,
I hate those guys.
Yeah, let's just say it. Let's just say what we want to say. No, we love them, but Skylar had a baby, and, when you have a very, very successful podcast,
oh baby,
babies don't work well for a very successful podcast. But a lot has happened to the league.
I was sort of thinking that our new daddy, our inaugural league daddy officially, would love to just hear the boys chatting while he's not sleeping at 3 a.m. as well. That was part of this.
I guess that would be nice. Just
right?
Little 3 a.m, pop in the boys.
Yeah, like his baby's wailing. Little Bryce, the rookie sucks in the preseason. Bryce,
does he suck? I haven't really been watching him.
Yeah, he's been getting pummeled. He's like David Carr. He has no line. He's just been getting pummeled. But who cares about preseason? Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. You never know with preseason. But at the same time, dude, every time I see any video of him, he's 10 inches shorter than the shortest lineman. I don't know how he's going to do it.
He needs to be breastfed like Skylar's baby boy.
Yeah, he needs some milky on the sidelines.
They need to give him formula. They should just put formula in the Gatorade coolers. All right. Sorry, that was weird.
Baby formula on the sidelines, that'd be not bad. I'd probably take a little suckle on that.
They give him a little baby bottle,
Yeah.
little suckle at halftime.
Yeah.
I am curious. What's Schwer's excuse? He has no baby prospects.
Well, Schwer's not bad. Like Skylar does the let's do it and then last minute bail, like 5 minutes before we're about to, go on air. And then but Schwer always like, once we find a time, he's like down, but it's always like, all right, how about Monday? And he's like, no, I have like hockey practice. And then it's like, all right, how about Tuesday? And he's like, no, I can't because I have to go to the Penguin store and like buy a Penguin outfit. And it's like, all right, well, how about Wednesday? And he's like, well, I can't on Wednesday because I have to walk my dog. And then we go through all the days and we finally find one. And then Skylar's like, all right. And Skylar does like the lock it in emoji. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to plan my entire day around this, my job interviews, very important job interviews. And then we get to the 5 minutes before, and then Skylar's like, I am out. And then
Why does Schwer's activities take up a whole day?
Well, he always goes back to the blue collar thing. He's like, well, I have a 9-to-5 job.
Oh, that's right.
So, it makes it tough.
That's right.
I
I love those guys, though. Those guys are good guys. I love Skylar's baby. I love Schwer's dog.
Yeah. Schwer plays in like 4 hockey leagues and also coaches like 4 hockey teams. So, and they play year round.
Timu is really cute. That little fluff ball.
Let's talk about Schwer though for a second. Our social media guru. All right. Let's talk about this. Because I was looking at this the other day and I was thinking about it. I was like, we have this highly talented social media guy. He's got thousands of followers on his YouTube and Instagram. And then he makes posts like this.
Had a nice little lunch planned with Gideon today. Beautiful day. I'm going to go to Bueno, Chuck's old stomping grounds. Invited Scott.
Yeah, so where he just goes on and on, complaining. Post this to social media. It gets, how many likes do you think this got?
I think he got like 10 likes on that.
No, 11.
11?
Okay.
Wow.
Huge, okay? And then he's got this SpongeBob SquarePants thing.
Here. Wow, look at you, so young and happy. Where did the years
It's like a picture of Charlie as a boy. Like just some weird deep cut thing where like,
I like that one.
It's like a baby of Charlie. Okay. So how many likes did this get? 22 likes. That's big for sure. That's
people like that one. People like that one.
And then I come in, no idea what I'm doing. Tony Spumoni at the club. Tony Spumoni at the club with a fucking sandwich emoji and a bunch of chicks like all around him. Guess how many likes this got?
1,280.
No, not that many. It got 223. But if we keep going
no
here,
joke, in the hundreds.
Yeah, I made a TikTok of all the boys doing the beer chug 40-yard dash in Mount Hood. Got 175 likes, and then he did one of Cobb eating a hot cheese, which, as an inside joke, is objectively funny. But for the social media world, that got 9 likes.
Yeah. That's for the boys only.
All right, then me and Gideon in Scottsdale made this Get Ready With Me, 242 likes. That was just purely good content. And then, we keep going. Schwer's got a couple here. Cobb shotgunning. We love that. Unfortunately, only 6 likes.
Yeah, nobody else does.
All the boys dumping out of the van. I mean, that was epic. 14 likes.
That's crazy. That was fun.
That is crazy. That should have gotten more. Schwer's like Friday beers one.
That was hysterical, though.
That was good.
It's just too many inside jokes.
Right, because nobody knows what our league looks like.
Yeah, 4 likes. And then, boys, this is the greatest accomplishment of Ivy League.
This is Kyle.
That's slow.
It's me eating shit. My post, again, 11,481 likes.
Wow. You've cracked the code, man. You've
11,000?
cracked the code.
It got almost 12,000 likes, and let's see. Oh, I love the beginning where Gideon's like, "Suck."
Wait, is this of all the boys or is this just you? Because Skylar's is truly impressive with the that
Yeah,
it vanishes. But
I
we don't
know.
have
We gotta. Well, that
gotta
was the other thing is that you know that one got 26,000 views as well as the 12,000
that's like
likes.
that's not viral, but that's like starting a virus.
Yeah, that's like you wake up one morning and you have a little bit of ooze and you're not really sure
Yeah.
what it's from. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
makes a
nice.
lot of sense.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Gideon's actually experiencing that currently.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so point is that Schwer's not that good at social media, and you are. Okay.
I'm the king.
You are the king. Got it. Kyle better than Schwer. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that was my whole point. Thank you for the recap.
Okay.
You did good.
Got it.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
like the idea of ramping up the social media, especially we got football season coming up. We got some draft content we should put on there for sure.
yeah, I mean that was the other thing too is I started making a video and then Schwer was like, "I'm doing it," and so I stopped. And now, we're what, a month out of the draft? Almost?
Yeah, almost a month.
I've seen no video. Where's the video, Schwer?
it's gonna be like an 8-minute long video recap that again only the boys will appreciate.
Yeah.
But it will be awesome. But then we
Yeah,
do
I
need
mean,
we need like 10 small videos for the people, right? You can have
yeah.
both. Why not both?
I I mean, I love the stuff that's just for the boys. I mean, that's why we're doing
Right.
this. But
Exactly. But for the people too, you could do both. Have your cake, eat it too.
yeah, so we've taken some months off here. We haven't really talked about football. We had our draft. Well, the last time we did a podcast, we had just completed the spring challenge. And then me and Gideon were in San Diego and we did the rookie draft. And that was an absolute shit show trying to get all the like 12 dudes to try to record a like live draft on Zencaster. Shout out Zencaster. Managed to piece together a podcast, and that was the last thing we did. And so I guess we could consider this the off season, right? But a lot of things have happened. Let's talk about life. Skylar had a baby. We already talked about that.
Yep.
I got engaged.
Ooh,
yeah.
yep.
In like
Engaged
Milan or
guy.
something.
Yeah, I'm engaged. I'm getting married.
Huge love guy. Huge engaged love guy.
I'm hugely love engaged.
Shout out Jess. We like her. We
Yeah,
like
Jess is the
They're great
best.
together.
She's like cleaning the house right now.
I don't know how you could like
don't
live
deserve
with
it.
Kyle. I guess shout out Gideon as well, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, about me.
What else has happened? Oh, well, I guess let's talk about me a little bit more.
Agreed.
Sure.
I got a job, which
Oh,
Ooh.
engaged job guy, Mr.
yeah.
His whole life figured out guy.
And as I was like getting ready to send a link out to you guys, that my new boss at this company, which I'll be the 7th person at this company, so it's
Ooh, I like that.
not a big company, but
That's your
he,
style.
he texted me saying, "Hey, just so you know, we have a team meeting at 8 a.m. your time tomorrow." And I just looked at Jess and I was like, "It's officially over, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Just 8 a.m. meeting Monday morning. I haven't used my brain in 8 months, boys. I haven't done like any sort of cognitive strain.
Yeah,
Just
I
been
can tell. You
doing nothing.
Awesome.
really got through that thought.
But I bought some PEDs for work.
Oh,
Adderall.
got it.
No, not Adderall. I was considering, I was like, I'm going to just try really hard to crush this job and do a good job.
Steroids for work?
Yeah, well, I thought about Adderall, but then I was like, I don't want like my penis to fall off and to go bald in like 2 weeks.
Brain steroids?
So there's this company, and we have an advertising deal with them, so I'll name them. It's called First Person. You should check it out. And it's like little mushroom capsules.
Ooh,
And
you're
so
microdosing.
yeah, little micro dosing. It's like a focus, motivation, work mushroom cocktail. So I'm excited to try those out. We're gonna pop those in. I'll probably fucking start hallucinating at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Wait,
That
let me sell these a little harder though, okay? Right? Because
Yeah.
you only actually use like 30% of your brain. But you know what mushrooms do? They activate more of it. And if you go overboard, you start hallucinating like holy shit. But if you just boom.
Just
Imagine if you had 70% activation instead of 30.
just little snacks, little mushroom snacks.
That sounds juicy.
Yeah. That's actually the plot of a
Exactly.
movie that I forgot, but you
Tenacious D,
know.
the pick of destiny.
Wait,
Yeah.
Shout out Jack Black.
First Person. Okay.
Do we
Wow.
care about I got a life update. It took me a week to recover from Miami.
Yeah.
Well, God, let's talk about that. You went fucking hard to paint. You
I
were
did.
draft all star.
I mean, Charlie and I left the boys behind. It was wild. We had an entirely different Miami experience because of that decision.
You
Yeah.
guys actually saw Miami.
We left Gideon face down in defeat with his wallet under his clothes outside by the pool
That was
and went to the club. The
so
only other guy that wanted to go couldn't find
Yeah.
his wallet.
All right, so the draft. Let's just jump right in and talk about it. So, most of us showed up on Thursday night, right? And our plane lands. Me and Magnus are on the same plane, Seattle to Miami, literally the furthest possible distance you can travel in America.
Yeah, pretty much.
True.
Uh,
Direct?
Yeah, we were direct, but I mean, I'm 2 hours away from Seattle, so I drove my camper down to a buddy's house, parked it, slept overnight at his house, got up, had him drive me to the airport. We get on the plane, we fly. Magnus is a Comfort Plus guy on Delta, and I was just back there in economy. Although I got the stingy upgrade. I won't call it what I actually call it, but the stingy upgrade for the exit row. And then we land and they're like, hey, they shut down the ramp because there's lightning. And so they're like, we're going to be sitting in this plane for an indefinite period of time. And then like 5 minutes later, they're like, all right, we're pulling into the gate. We get off the plane. Get off the plane, get our bags, go outside, and it is absolutely fucking downpouring. And Dave's plane just landed. And so he gets the same problem, but he sits there for 2.5, 3 hours. So we just left him. Like we were waiting in the rental car garage. We go to Home Depot. It's literally like there's like 4 inches of water in the Home Depot parking lot. Like I'm walking through like shin deep water.
No. It was like flash flood monsoon.
It was
insane storm when we flew
storm.
in. Yeah.
We get the pong tables from Home Depot. Just going into Home Depot. We'd yell, "Where's the plywood?" We come outside to put them on the car, and the racks don't fit. So we literally just like strapped plywood to the top of like the metal, like the top of a rental car.
We're getting them delivered next year. It's 2023.
I know. We should just get them
We'll
delivered.
just get them delivered next time. But
That's such a smart move.
We're still stuck in 2015 with the on the roof, but it's okay.
Yeah. So we immediately start playing pong. We get to the house, and then like within like 2 or 3 hours, I was drunk, and then I was drunk pretty much for the rest, like till Sunday morning. Like there wasn't really a moment in the draft.
Yeah, you just like hit the gas and it just stayed on until Sunday. And then you had a nightmare flight back, actually, which was hysterical as well. The text updates were unreal.
Crazy.
I was back in Buffalo lounging.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, the boys started like kind of slowly trickling in. I think like Matt, Gideon, Jeff, Charlie, me were there. And then Dave and Cobb showed up together. And then the next day we played some golf. That was pretty sweet. First golf round was nice.
I just got to say, the show up, Dave and I show up, right? I'd been flying around in the air while Dave had been on the ground. we have not the best experience. There's so many people in the airport. Kyle got out of there before the nightmare. It was just packed full. But we
Yeah.
get to the Airbnb. What's waiting but a big old pot full of beer for us to chug? That's just that is love. That is league love.
Yeah.
It's the
I
best.
think we warmed it up for you too. Matt got it going on the electric stove.
Yeah, get that foam out, so it doesn't foam up my belly so I puke immediately. We don't need that.
Matt calls that a casserole.
Lots of casseroles going down over the weekend.
Yeah,
Weekend?
a lot of
Weekend.
casseroles, and
Yeah.
they're
Gideon, big casserole guy, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, what else happened Thursday night? We bought some sandwiches. I think I threw one of them across the room.
yeah. You definitely were throwing sandwiches. We all ordered beers separately. Like we ordered like the first 100 beers to the house. And we were like, that's probably a good amount for the first night. We're probably being
There's
generous.
only 6 of us.
We'll probably have enough for 6 people, and then we delete those beers so quickly, and we had to get more. And I
Yeah.
think we finished like a solid 150 to 200 beers the first night.
I think the timeline was like me and Magnus after running all the, errands, because we went and got food at Walmart as well. And then, we got to the Airbnb at 8:00, and Jeff and Gideon had bought the beers, and they were like, we got over 100 beers. I think it was like, 110 or something. And
Yeah.
we were like, no, we don't need to get more beers. We're at Walmart. We're like, dude, it's Thursday night. We're going to take it pretty easy. We don't need to get more beers. There's 6 of us. We don't need 100 beers. That's like more than 10 beers each. We get there, and I think I looked at my watch when people started sounding the alarm that there weren't any beers left. And I looked at my watch, and it was like just past 10. In 2 hours, somehow we had drank over 100 beers.
It doesn't make any sense, but I know we did it.
Yeah,
And
we
I
knew
don't
how many beers we started with, and we
Oh.
knew how many weren't there when we
like
ended
by
up doing.
by Saturday night, certainly we're spilling a lot, right? Like Dave flipped the 10 beer full pong tables worth of beer, so that's 10 beers gone. But like that wasn't happening on Thursday night. Like all
Yeah.
those beers were going down throats on Thursday.
Yeah, to an extent, I'm sure some beers got spilled. Like
Sprayed a little bit.
Jeff definitely like whiffed it at the pong ball and like knocked over an entire rack.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Somebody
But-
might have dumped one on their head. You never know.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of games of Pong early on, and we also played that late night game of Harbor, which takes 30 beers itself.
Yeah, fuck.
That does take
Dartmouth,
beers.
dude.
And let's not forget the cops game.
Yeah, we had a little run-in with the Miami police department.
Thursday night, 6 30-year-olds and the cops come.
Yeah.
And of course, I love talking to cops, so I ran to the door and I opened the
Conversation you had with the cop.
What did you say?
Let's hear the conversation. I want to hear the specific back and forth you had with this police.
Yeah, he's got a flashlight and he's flashing it like right in my eyes, and I was like, "Oh, Jesus, bro!" And then so he puts the flashlight down and he's like, "Hey, you guys are being really loud," and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Go get the person that rented this house," and I was like, "Oh, he can't come to the door," and he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "He's sleeping." And he just started shaking his head and goes, "Just quiet down," and like turns around and walks away.
It's so expertly handled.
Yeah, it was well done. He could tell early that he was not going to get anywhere in this conversation with you.
Yeah, I'm the king of just deflections.
It's so well done.
Who rents this place? I don't know.
He's not here.
He can't. He's asleep.
Yeah, so that was Thursday night. I think we went to bed. There was a story of Cobb. Didn't you wake up the next morning, Cobb, and you're like, "Man, I'm so glad you went to bed early." But then there was like a story of you like talking about the Geneva Convention at 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah, I was sharing a room with Magnus and Caldwell. And Magnus is a rester, right? Like he's the hose guy of the draft. He brings a lot of goodness, a lot of good energy. He freaking lit our golf team on fire, but he was trying to sleep. And I was, 16-year-old girl yapping with Austin Caldwell, my friend, since we were 4 years old, about the Geneva Convention, which I'm not even sure what that is.
Was it the Geneva Convention? I feel like it was
No,
something like that.
no, it was definitely booze related. It wasn't Amaro though, it was something else, but it was something I have no idea about. Like I know nothing about it, but apparently we were talking about it for like an hour. Just like, oh, well, I conveniently forgot about that, so I'm going to pretend I was sleeping. Thank
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Sorry, Magnus. Sorry to keep you up. Way to perform anyway.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So
And then what happened? So we wake up like at like 7 or 6 on Friday morning to go golfing, and we go like play really early.
yes.
We finally got to play together, Kyle.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
We had a great time.
We did. We were out there, Chuck. We were all being nice to each other too. Like Friday was just such a good day of nice golf. There was no criticisms, just all pure joy.
Yeah, that was cool. Before the competitions started, we were just friends, just having a good time. Just
For a
drinking
little bit
200
there.
beers, There's nothing better than that. Just pure bliss.
Correct.
But then Friday after golf, I think, competitions begin, right?
Yeah. Well,
It's sort of like you see in training camp, like Josh was talking about it for the Bills. He's like, I like to see my boys getting heated. Like that means we're really about it. We're practicing, we're getting ready. And though we're not necessarily practicing for anything, like we just got to get our testosterone out. We got to compete. Like I was realizing this. I was like, dude, thank God Kyle was getting me fired up all weekend.
Yeah, no. We should
Like, thank
absolutely
fucking
compare
God.
ourselves to the Bills. It's the right comparison. It's
I mean, it's the only camp news I've been getting. I wanted to ask you about Giants camp news, Gideon, because I know. But I digress. Because draft.
yeah.
I mean, I don't even. I feel like the fact that a highlight was we had a guest player on our football league. He had like his son and his other kid playing at the park. They were playing soccer. Charlie was going to show him some moves. They had no interest.
this was that guy playing the football game was nuts. Like
What's his name?
was
Jerome? James?
it was Jason.
Jason. Shout out
Wait,
Jason.
wait,
Yeah, shout out.
You tell a story. You were just telling it the other day when I was with you, and I think you were telling it.
Well, this game it was hilarious because we needed, one team had an extra guy, so we were, sitting out a guy, and he noticed that.
He didn't come to the draft.
He wanted to play, and we're like super down. We're like, yeah, we're fucking gassed. We could use all the help we can get, and he was playing, and like I think the first 5 plays, I was sitting out, and I saw 5 plays and like 5 heated arguments. It's like 30-year-old dudes arguing about two-hand touch
in full uniforms,
all wearing jerseys.
Like a
custom jerseys.
Family neighborhood.
This guy was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then the part I love is that he started getting into the arguments. And he's like, "No, that was out of bounds. You're out of bounds." And he, I don't know, the competition. Fire was a part of it.
We're like fully dressed, custom jerseys. There was one, like, I remember one.
Shout out Schwer.
Yeah, Schwer made jerseys. There was one argument I remember where he got on the field and I was like, literally like Skylar was trying to put the ball down like on the line of scrimmage, and I kept like kicking it backwards because I was saying that like this guy is just like these 30-year-old bros, full uniforms. Like I thought they were just out here having a good time. We're just every play screaming at each other, like kicking the ball back off the line of scrimmage. Yeah, and then he started getting into it, like Gid was saying. Like Charlie jumped out of bounds, didn't land in bounds at one point, and this guy like called him out. He's like, "No, you definitely didn't catch that." And Charlie was like, "Yes, I did." Charlie's like screaming at this guy.
Have no shame at all.
Dude,
Yeah.
also his son, so his son was like 10 or 8 or something. Favorite NFL receiver. He told me he wanted to be a receiver in the future. I go, who you look up to most? Randy Moss.
Wow.
I don't even think he's like been alive when Randy Moss played football. How about
That's
that?
pretty cool.
Right? So like this is a cool guy with a cool kid.
Yeah.
Already knowing history.
Yeah. It was also like 100 degrees out, like 95%
Yeah.
humidity. It was like 2 plays, and I was like literally dizzy.
We should vocalize how fucking hot it was. It was so hot, and we did our 40-yard dash, and then we played our football game. We were all just like sweating out booze,
Yeah,
and
that
I was
that
like
was tough.
shaking after that football game. I was
Let's
shaking
talk.
the weekend.
Let's talk about the 40-yard draft, though, because something that's been kind of pissing me off lately is like all these other fantasy football leagues are coming out saying that they're doing this now.
Such bullshit.
You seen this shit?
Yeah.
I don't know whether I should like be happy about it or mad about it, honestly.
No, let's be mad. We're mad.
We at least have documentation from the COVID year that we did it because we had to do it that year. We had to video ourselves.
Well, we've been doing
Since
this
like
draft for,
20 Sun Valley, right? Yeah, it was 2017 was the first
that
time.
was the first time we ever did it.
Footage from Sun Valley.
Just so that the world knows,
Right.
2017 was the first time we ever did this. And basically, what we do is you put one beer in 2 cups. You have to chug the beer and then sprint 40 yards. And now on Instagram, all I see is like bros doing stupid versions of it. Like one I saw was these guys running through the ocean. The fuck is that?
Dude, that was beautiful. I love it.
You like that shit? I was like, I threw my phone across the room.
I mean, like it's the same energy. It's just a different group of boys. That's our audience, man. That's
true.
12 more boys.
But why is Barstool sharing their shit?
Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
I want the fame and I want all the credit, and
Yeah.
I want them to be like, these guys are the best in the biz. They did it first. Everybody else sucks.
And they pay us hundreds of millions of dollars for it.
Yeah.
If only.
Come on.
Stance
So
I'm
awesome.
taking. That's the unbiased stance I am taking.
We're getting Zuckerberged. We are getting Zuckerberged.
We're getting
We are-
Zuckerberged.
We are the Olsen twins. Wait, what are those guys' names?
Hey,
The Olsen-
The Finkstein twins. What were the other guys? Who were
we can't remember
Basically,
because nobody
We're
does.
Mary Kate and Ashley.
they?
We're getting Zuckerberged.
We're getting Zuckerberg. And we're Mary Kate and Ashley. And Zuckerberg fucking's running off with all the fame and money.
Oh god.
Maybe it's just 10 years away, boys. Who knows?
It's a tale as old as time.
Maybe
Yeah.
there will be
Twins and
it turns
Zuckerberg.
out there was a kid in the school where we were doing the 40-yard dash who videoed us. And it'll come
That's
out
what you
10
need
years
is
from now.
you need one of those fluffy-haired TikTokers to swing by.
Yeah.
That's where I was trying to get Tariq Hill to come to our football game. I should have just found like some fluffy-haired like Miami TikToker to come by and be like, "Look at these old idiots."
Yeah, come get the, but then so here's the other thing. The fluffy-haired Gen Zer would have profited. We would have gotten nothing.
Yeah, that's
Except
true.
Amos, I guess.
Well, they
They
would
would've
have maybe.
recognized us.
We would have had to get them to follow us. I think that's how social media works, right? Or tag us.
Oh, yeah. Tag
I don't
on
know.
me.
I don't get it. Those fluffy haired fucks are making more money than me, and I don't get it.
I mean, obviously we missed something.
I don't think they actually do make money though. That's what I keep telling myself. I think that they just like have like TikTok figured out how to get a bunch of robots to send likes, and then we all just
Are robots? The fluffy haireds are robots?
well, the fluffy hairs they're real, but then there's robots that are clicking the like buttons,
Oh.
and then the companies are like, wow, they're getting lots of likes, so they say to these fluffy haired kids, hey, keep posting these TikToks, and every time you get a click or a sale, we'll pay you. But because it's all robots that aren't actually buying anything, they're not actually making any money. They're just wasting their lives making fluffy, bouncing their fluffy hairs around.
Wow.
Hey, whatever helps you sleep at night, because one of those fluffy-haired kids just freaking, became the bantamweight championship too. So watch your mouth.
Also, no one fucking
Valley
fact checked what
guy?
I just said. No one better fact check what I just said. That's how the world works.
I
All right, fair
I
enough. I
haven't
hear
heard
it.
a better theory.
Yeah.
Guys, do we want to talk any football over here, or nah?
Well, let's
Just
finish up the draft. So, all right. So
draft.
Friday we play golf. Friday night the competition begins. I think we kicked it off with the beer pong tournament. We drew names out of a hat for partners. Of course, I draw Caldwell. um, I don't remember all the teams. Who were you
I
guys
actually,
teams with?
Gideon, go ahead.
I was with Chuck, and we were actually very good.
Hell
Yeah, you
yeah.
guys did all right.
We came in second, third overall for the Pong tournament, and that actually sealed Charlie's fate as number one in the draft entirely, and I was actually third in the draft.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
pretty
that was
good,
pretty cool.
pretty good.
I was with Caldwell, and he pissed me off to my core because at one point during the tournament, we're playing Magnus and Cobb. I think you were standing in for Schwer, right? Because Schwer hadn't
Correct.
got there yet.
Correct.
Yeah, so Schwer hadn't got there yet, and Cobb and Magnus are playing me and Caldwell for like a play-in game. It was basically like it didn't. According to Caldwell, it didn't matter because we were going to be in the championship anyway. And so Caldwell was just calling it in, not playing. And Magnus is just sinking cups. And I'm just drinking the whole game. Like literally drinking all 4 beers.
Right.
And I'm
4
looking at
beers.
Caldwell saying, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Dude, this game doesn't matter." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
he
"Dude,
didn't care. He didn't
I'm
care.
literally browning out. Like I can't see." And I was like, "I need to be able to see for the championship game." And he just like, Caldwell, after like a certain number of beers, his ears, he just can't hear. He's just tunnel vision.
His own world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go into the championship game against Magnus, and then Schwer showed up, right?
Well,
So
here.
what happened with this Cobb?
So this is fun because right, I got the bye because Scotty didn't show, unfortunately. So I was gonna get whoever got knocked out first. I'd take one of those teammates. But Schwer had another nightmare flight day. We all had kind of tough luck getting in. So Schwer's late. And that's a great team. You want to be with Magnus, right? Magnus and Caldwell are the guys. So I plug in for Schwer. And I get pretty drunk too. Apparently, I'm in my own world, sort of Caldwell style, when Schwer gets there. I just start shouting at him, right? Like I am again. Kyle's got me fucking all gassed up. I'm trying to compete. I don't give a shit about anything really. So Schwer comes in, and I'm like, I gotta fight for my spot. Like I got to be able to hold up with Magnus, so I have a chance at winning this thing. So I just immediately am like, you me, like 3 cup old school pong with our hands, like full beer, because he just got there, right? Like, boom, that's it. And he apparently is going, I find out the next day, he's going, dude, we can like be on a team. Like we can compromise. I did not hear that one little bit. I had no interest in compromising. I'm not trying to share anything. So I actually went from first, because Schwer ends up getting a first place grade, to last, because that is the deal. I was like, Schwer, loser gets last, winners in the championship game, because he came in like
Wow.
right before it. And Schwer, he blasted me. It was like 5 shots. He made all
So
together.
you guys played Beirut. You guys
Correct.
played a
Beirut.
three cup Beirut. Whoever lost gets last in the tournament. Whoever wins gets to play with Magnus in the championship.
That's correct.
That's
what
crazy.
that's
I have
what the
no
draft's
idea
about.
where that went down.
That's what the draft's about. Right. See, and Kyle was in his own world. He had no idea this was happening.
I was floating around like no clue because I just drank that entire game.
Right.
All
That
I
was
remember
the
is
game before that. Yeah.
all I remember is Caldwell whispering in my ear, "Push Dave in the pool." And I push Dave, and he pushes like Sky and Jeff in the pool, and then Dave gets out, and he's really mad, and he just flips the fucking table.
10 beers and like
I
15
don't
minutes of
remember any
work
of this.
gone.
I don't
Oh my god!
of what you guys just said.
All right, so Pong tournament ends. Magnus and Schwer end up winning. Me and Caldwell get second. Charlie and Gideon get third, and then it goes down from there all the way to Cobb, who got last.
So we're only missing. Oh yeah, we're missing 2 teams, I guess. Yeah.
Because Scotty didn't show. Scotty didn't show.
He doesn't know.
It must have been Skylar and Dave, and then Jeff and Matt. Jeff and Matt got
Way,
fifth.
way to be, Kyle. Look at that brain. Look at that brain in action.
Yep. Yeah, I'm getting fired up for work tomorrow. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. meeting.
Kyle, do you like my remix?
What is it?
Scotty didn't show.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sing it.
I'm proud of you, man. Scotty doesn't know. Did you know that song was written for that movie? What's that movie? Like Road Trip or something? It's like a. Anyway, never mind.
The Italian
Golf
job.
tourney. Let's get to the Saturday golf tourney dress, right? Oh.
They wrote
that song for that movie, that band. I know none of the names of anything except for the song. They wrote that song for that movie, and then the song became famous after.
You're gonna be good at your job tomorrow.
They would be like, "What is it called? The thing where you do the thing?" And they're like, "Sales." yeah. All right, and then so we get up Saturday morning. We have what was it, like 10 a.m. tee time, which was ultimately too late. I think next year we can't do that.
It was the earliest I could get at that spot, but
because it was the longest round of all time. Like
I legit had withdrawals. I had to sit down in the grass at one point in the round, and I was not doing well.
Yeah, and me, Schwer, and Chuck were on a team, and we were down a man because Scotty didn't show. And so we basically negotiated to get Schwer, I think it was 9 mullies, which didn't work. Did not work in our favor at all. He took all 9 of them and never worked. It never worked out.
Didn't help.
No, not at all. Which is fine, whatever. I think we did pretty poor. Everyone was bad except for Cobb, was it your team?
Jam squad.
You guys shot even? Were you even?
One under. We were one under. The vibes were high. We were so we were the last group. We were like 30 minutes behind coming in. Our little cart said we were 5 minutes behind pace, so it took us 4 hours 35 minutes, I think.
I was going to say it was over 5 hour round, but I guess it's not terrible.
That's just made up because you were struggling. You were fighting it out there.
Yeah,
fighting it up here in the brain, fighting it too hard. We were flowing. The jam squad was flowing. Magnus was just in the zone, dude.
I played golf with Magnus. And I saw it. I've seen him play. I played with him a month before the draft, and I don't know. You guys were saying he was electric. I don't know what happened that day, but
he was sandbagging you, dude. He must have been.
He must have been.
Or he just was blessed by the hand of golf Jesus that day.
Yeah, that was crazy. Just 100 yards out, right? He couldn't miss.
It was 140 to 80 yards. He was just on the green, automatic. I was going last in our group because I'm the quote unquote stick, right? But if somebody puts it on the green, you can't really do better than that. So I would just shank those, and then anytime Magnus missed, boom, ham and eggs, baby.
That's nice.
Yep. Easy.
Yeah. So you guys won with 1 under. I think we got second with literally 3 over.
Yeah.
The next team was bad, and then Skylar's team was fucking 5 over.
He was talking so big before.
We were, me and Sky, we were oh, we're the favorites, we'll win this. 5 over.
Yeah, you guys did not have a good time. So then we go in and we eat lunch, and literally that was the best dining experience I've ever had in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, our server he is a complete professional, man. The snap. I haven't tried. I'm never gonna try it, boys. It's terrible. But I've told a lot of people.
Alfonso and Jack, we all were getting martinis for some reason. At 1 o'clock on Saturday, just hammering martinis at the clubhouse, and this guy's shaking them up, and he would do this. He would overfill the shit out of his shaker. It was literally he would shake it, he'd pour it in front of you, and then he would do this snap circle thing around the glass, and of course all 11 of us, just juvenile lizard brains, would cheer when he did it. And then he would be like, take a sip, and he would make you drink like half of it, and then he would like fill it to the top again. And then he did this chugging race trick that he tried to do with Sky. You remember this?
Yeah.
Dude, so good.
So he comes over to us and he's like, "Who's your fastest chugger?" And Sky's like, we're all like, "It's Sky." And so he fills up like 3 shot glasses with beer, and then he fills up 3 like water glasses for himself with water. And he's like, "I guarantee you, I'm going to finish these before you finish those 3."
Only rule is you can't touch each other's glasses.
Oh yeah, that's the only rule.
This was the trick. We're all like, "What's the trick?" Because he has like 10 times as much liquid in these cups.
Yeah.
Skylar's going to gulp these down.
And Skylar has the open throw capability. You can just literally dump it down his face. It's like just
3
gravity.
shot glasses, it's going to vanish.
Yeah, so they say go, and Skylar starts drinking, and the guy starts drinking his first water glass. And the trick was that the guy was going to finish his first water glass, and then before Skylar was done with his 3rd shot glass, he was going to flip his glass over Sky's last glass so that he couldn't drink it. But Skylar
not even close. Not even close.
Finished, yeah, like didn't even come close. Skylar was done before the guy even got halfway through his water glass, and then Skylar's literally running around the restaurant, and we're all fucking cheering. Oh, I mean, man, it's so
dude,
good.
Curtis dumped water like on his chest, trying to finish the water. He was in. Curtis was going.
You know what we completely forgot about here is Charlie in the dress.
Correct, dude. I hear he's getting catcalled from other people.
Dude, it was nuts. So I was on his team, and it was literally like, I've never been stared at more. Like people were just like 100 yards out, people couldn't quite tell. Like the bros were like Charlie has a nice figure. So like 100 yards out, people are like, "Is that a girl?" And then they would like see him like pipe it because Charlie can hit it. And they would see him just like hit it like, 280, 300. And they'd be like, what the fuck was that? And then we'd drive up to people, and people would be like laughing, and they'd be like, everyone was like, "What'd you Lose?" And Charlie would just be like, "Yeah, fantasy football." So we get through I don't know, 14, 15 holes, and the like golf club like manager or whatever drives up to us in a cart, and he's like chatting to us for a second. Then he's like, "You got to put a shirt on." He like calls him out for not having sleeves on, and apparently someone on the course called it in. They were like pissed about it, and like called it in, and the guy came out and like made him put a over it.
Bro in this dress is too hot and is like out driving me. I am confused and horny now. Make them put on a shirt.
Yeah, we got someone on the 11th hole green at one point was like, "Thanks, Biden," or something. Like, I don't even know what. Dude, people were saying the craziest shit.
Because they were complaining that because they loved the dress idea, and they were complaining about them making him put on a shirt. And they're like, "Oh, only in Biden's America."
Yeah.
Oh, so it's opposite of what I was thinking. I love that.
No, it didn't even.
I love that.
No, we figured out that it didn't make sense what he was saying, because he was basically pissed that like it was even allowed, and then so he's like, "Thanks, Biden." I don't remember. We were just like,
doesn't
even make sense.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So
Dude,
he was wearing a dress. There's some very good content of it, and that was pretty hilarious. And he got just a hilarious sunburn too. Like he just had like the straps across his back.
It was a nice dress. It was
nice.
Cute.
Yeah, Kyle, nice dress.
It was like, I think it's a great dress because it's a little, it's sexy, and then but it's got like leggings inside it, so like
it's classy. It's classy.
Button balls aren't falling out, but also it's like comfortable,
sexy, flowy, athletic.
Yeah, exactly.
Figure fitting. It really hugged his ass. I liked that.
So it's now like 1 or 2 o'clock. We don't really have enough time. Originally it would have been sweet if we had gone down to like Miami Beach and like played the football game, but of course we didn't have time to make that happen. So we go and play in this park. We do the football game. We kind of already talked about it. We were screaming at each other for like a full 2 hours. It was, I would say, like I don't know if you guys disagree, but I would say I think the washed up league, they were stacked. They had Gideon, Charlie, Skyler, all the best athletes in the league were on the same team, whatever.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to absolutely like torch us. It wasn't even going to be close. It wasn't close. I think we lost 5-0, but I would say it was competitive at least, you know?
Competitive. There was a lot of good plays being made. It
You know,
was really hard.
Ivy League made an Ivy decision. They went zone defense, and that confused Sky. That confused our quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, the zone defense worked really well. We also had plays. So we were just running our plays over and over again. And the
Were your
problem
plays
was
that
like,
good? Were they that good?
well, the problem was that like Caldwell was the main culprit of this. I'd be like, all right, he'd be like, what play? And I would tell him, and then he would just run some completely rogue route. And I had no idea where he was going. And then he like kept getting mad that I wasn't hitting him. I'm like, dude, I don't know where you're running. Like I'm literally just throwing it, guessing. And then other guys started getting tired, and we couldn't hack it. I did throw the best football pass of my life though to Jason, the sub in. He comes up to me and he's like, all right, I'm running up the sideline. And I was like, all right, cool. And he's like, are you throwing it to the front side or are you throwing it to back shoulder? And of course, in my cocky head, I was like, back shoulder, bro. And then as soon as I said that, I was like, I cannot make that throw. And then I fucking threw a dime to his back shoulder, and he just like missed the catch, and like someone intercepted it easily.
Yeah,
But
you're like Danny Dimes out there, man.
I was Danny Dimes out there. So then we finish up the football game. We're all dizzy. Magnus bought like enough food to feed like a small village, like enough Cuban food to feed like 200 people.
So,
That was some of the best.
so good.
That was some of the best food I've ever had. That was so good.
Whatever those like pouches were, I don't even. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
The draft was pretty electric. I have a couple bones to pick. Mainly with Charlie. He's sitting right in front of the draft board.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember who it was, but they walk up to make their first round pick. And they're looking through quarterbacks, and they go for the Joe Burrow sticker. And Charlie goes, you know he's injured, right? And whoever it was, I can't remember who it was, looks at him and goes, really? And then picks someone else.
No.
Yeah, dude. So bad. I was so upset. I was like, dude, you can't do that. And then literally Matt missed the whole thing. Next pick, Matt walks up and picks Joe Burrow, and then we go. And then Chuck goes, you know he's hurt, right? And Matt just goes, what? Freaks out.
But he's going to be fine.
It's going to work, yeah. I mean, at draft day, it looked like Matt was in trouble because his two starting quarterbacks were Joe Burrow and Anthony Richardson, and Anthony Richardson hadn't been named the starter yet. So that looked bad. How do you guys feel about your teams? Good?
Francisco Malinari.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about my team. Everybody's going to overlook us because we got Danny Dimes and we got Saquon out there. They're going to fucking blow up this year. And I got Josh Allen.
Hey, yeah, that guy. Woo.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker, too. My running backs are stacked. My receivers are, they could be better, but that's okay. We're going to be fine.
Yep. You're a Giants guy being a Giants guy.
Yeah, baby.
I was actually checking out both your guys' teams last night, trying to do a little prep for this, and I found it pretty interesting because I went for like my first time. I went wide receiver heavy. I went back to back Jefferson Diggs.
That's
in a quarterback heavy draft, so I kind of paid for it. Kyler Murray's probably my biggest regret pick. I could have had Carr. I could have taken Carr, but I took Kyler Murray.
This is the Derek Carr podcast.
It's the Derek Carr podcast, and I let him slip to Schwer.
Schwer has Derek Carr.
Yeah, he took him like 5 picks later, and I hope it works out because I do still like Kyler Murray. I love that he was wearing a sports bra the other day. I'm cheering for the guy that everybody hates. But Kyle, you went like all quarterbacks. You went 3 quarterbacks and like 3 running backs before you had a wide receiver.
Yeah, so I was in an interesting position because I had traded up in the rookie draft for Bijan Robinson. And then I had Breece Hall as my keeper, so I just thought I was set. But now Dalvin Cook coming into the Jets is like making it a little weird. But I drafted Joe Mixon just in case. That was like a backup because I kind of knew the Breece Hall thing was up in the air. and also he's coming off an injury, so you never know. So yeah, I mean, I'm still pretty happy. I got Joe Mixon, Bijan Robinson, and Brees Hall on my bench from a running back perspective, and then I got my guys like quarterbacks.
I got guys.
Everybody said Kirk Cousins was a bad pick. I just love. I mean, I watch quarterbacks. Have you guys watched quarterbacks yet?
No, I didn't want that to impact any of my draft decisions, so I
That's
did not.
that's pretty smart. But yeah, dude, I just because of that show, I just love Kirk now.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
just.
I'm
dude,
hoping for big stuff from Kirk this year, Kyle. I'm rooting for him.
I think. I mean,
I believe.
let's talk about it. They were the NFC North. They won the NFC North last year, and Kirk Cousins is like, probably the prime of his career, but he's getting old. So it's like he's kind of. It's like it's crunch time for him from a winning perspective.
Yeah, and they lost to a little team out of New York called the Giants in the playoffs. So
First year coach, they're gonna come back this year with a fucking vengeance. I'm excited. They
uh,
got maybe this guy's on track to be the best wide receiver of all time. And when you're thrown to a guy like that, a lot of magical things can happen. We saw it all year last year.
Jobin Jefferson's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, when he's on your fantasy team and you're in our league, which gives bonus points for like big catches and long touchdowns and long yard games, that guy can be 50 points like every other week.
Yeah.
Dude, I had him last year for like half the year, and it's like
it's insane.
You're pretty much guaranteed over 20 points from him every
time. Hey,
how
about this? This just in, Jefferson is going to be the number one receiver in the league this year.
Hot take.
Nice. Nice.
That headline. This just in.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. Yeah. My team, ESPN thinks my team is going to get second place this year, which would really bust my balls. I don't like the sounds of that because I got second last year. Of course, somehow Skylar's ended up with the number one ranked team in the projections. Let's take a quick look at Skylar's shitty, stupid team. I don't understand if he's got Bryce in his. Oh wait, he doesn't have Bryce in his starting lineup. He's Baker. Right. That's what I don't get. Is like he's got Patty Mahomes, which is probably why the guy's projected for 27 points in week 1.
I mean,
wow.
Are you guys that invested in what ESPN projects? I mean, it's fun and all this. I am last in ESPN's projections.
It's literally just something to talk about.
Nobody, nobody knows. Nobody actually knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. When I look at the guy's team now, he's like too heavy in the Panthers. I don't know. Miles Sanders.
I know.
I don't know.
The thing is, like, Miles Sanders is like, why is he even talked about? He's got Devontae. The thing is like what can happen in fantasy. You've got Patrick Mahomes, who's projected to score 27 points, which is literally 20% of his points. And if Patrick Mahomes rolls his ankle and is out or something, I don't know,
exactly.
then his team is done.
Correct. And that could happen to any one of us. That's fantasy, baby.
That's fantasy, baby. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, these projections are projections. Let's see. We got Stefan. What's your team name? It doesn't show me the whole
Stefan the Gas, baby.
Stefan the Gas.
I've been all gassed up since Miami. Well,
projected for a big last place.
I mean, I don't currently have a kicker. One of my starting running backs is in my IR slot right now because I don't want to drop Tank Bigsby or Deuce Vaughn because these two dudes are blowing up in the preseason and they're probably going to suck once the regular season starts. But it's just fun to cheer for them while they're on my team right now.
Charlie's right where he should be and, hovering around second to last and last.
By the way, if you haven't drafted yet, those are some great late sleepers, especially if you're in a keeper league where, rookie running backs, those guys come out of nowhere. Part of this, right? Undervalued running backs in the whole league. Lots of combo teams now, right? No workhorses. I feel like I'm adapting with it.
That's why I'm going to hold on Roshan Johnson and never play him for the entire season. But I'll have him for the whole year, as well as Jalen Hyatt, who, by the way, if you don't know the name, you're going to want to remember the name, Jalen Hyatt. He has reached the top speed of 24 miles per hour in a Giants practice.
All right.
Fastest anybody has ever run in the NFL.
Damn.
In the world. No. Yeah, he's fast.
That sounds fast. I can't bike that fast.
All right. Shut up. Shut up, man.
No, that's the Giants camp news I wanted. Thank you, Gideon.
Jeff Ayers, ground and pound your mom, projected for third place. Russell Wilson and Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback.
Oof. Well,
Yeah.
I'd rather have my quarterbacks.
And then Ramondre Stevenson, which I don't understand. It's like this, now you got Zeke in the mix. Javonte Williams, showed some promise, but coming off an injury, and the Broncos are just tumultuous to say the least. Jamar Chase, obviously, in the draft, he's got Travis Kelce and Christian Kirk. So his receiver core is pretty nice. Drake London in his slot or in his flex.
I will say, at the draft, I was sort of still excited. I drafted Russell last year and got punished, and I was sort of buying the Sean Payton Russell hype, but again, the preseason, it's looking scary out there for Mr. Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got Cortland Sutton on my team, sort of thinking the same, like just in case he has a renaissance, and I'm not feeling as good about it. I'm dropping Sutton before I drop freaking Deuce Vaughn, baby.
Sometimes you just invest in teams and you got to hope for the best, but it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see how Dave's team looks. He's got Tua Tagovailoa. Jared,
as long as he doesn't hit his head, could be okay.
I mean, he does have spaghetti brains. I feel for the guy. I want him to have a good season. I like him. I like the ball.
We're cheering for
talking
him.
about Tuna tug on a violin.
Oh my God, is he performing at Club Sandwich soon?
Tuna tugging on the violin. Yeah, I mean, there has to be a fucking Club Sandwich for Tuna.
Yeah, Tuna tug on a violin. We only play violins, and it's all tuna sandwiches that night.
Oh, it's my favorite night.
I kind of like Dave's team. If Tuna can stay healthy, Jared Goff, 15 points every week, nothing special probably. And he's got Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Gibbs, Tariq Hill, Calvin Ridley, Darren Waller, which is yuck.
I don't know. Hearing good things out of camp.
Yep, Darren Waller going to be the best.
Darren Waller's a freak, and he should be good. But then he, last year, he pulled a hammy and didn't play for 7 weeks. It's just
Kyle, you ready for this? I like Magnus's team, but I also really like Scotty's team, the guy who wasn't there. Got really? Trevor Lawrence, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Eckler. Come on, Purdy. Purdy could be pretty good. I feel like he did all right.
For not being there, I mean, I've never not been there for a draft because
come on, hose
just
guy.
how I am.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know what it's like. I don't know how he did it. Gideon, weren't you managing that?
Yeah, I'd take some credit there because I managed all of Scotty's picks. But yeah, he did pretty well.
How did you do it? You were sending him pictures of the draft board every pick?
Yeah, basically I was just aggressively texting him you're up in 3 picks, you're up in 2 picks, now go, get ready, here's the draft board. And he drafted.
Why did you do that?
What?
Why did you do that?
Because I'm a good guy.
Yeah. He's
His
a lover.
Team is nice. I mean,
because milk steaks, Kyle. Because milk steaks, baby.
That's true. They do have a weird connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Trevor's poised to have a nice season. I think Brock Purdy is, in my opinion, it's just it's a toss-up because him playing last year, when you have nothing to lose, that's a really good position to be in. If you're a quarterback, he got thrown into the mix. The 49ers had a great team and he had nothing to lose. So he's just hucking it with no fear. But now there's a lot of pressure for him to be the guy. And so I think it's just a different position. He might step up and be the guy and he might be great, or he might collapse under that. So I think it goes either way.
I hear that actually, Kyle. We find out who he really is this year.
Yeah, I mean, last year you could tell he had no fear.
Right. He just went in there. I got plenty of playmakers.
He's like, this is my chance. I'm either I was the third string quarterback. I'm just gonna go in there and fucking throw it, see what happens. But now it's I'm the guy. I got to make the right decisions, or else I'm gonna get benched.
Could be.
I mean, he's got Austin Eckler. He's got Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is people are saying he's going to be top 10. And then
he is very good.
DeAndre Hopkins, you don't know what's going to happen with that. Who's starting? Isn't it fucking Ryan Tannehill?
Tannehill, dude.
I mean, that could be great. It could also be a complete mess. And then Mark Andrews, which terrible fucking season last year, but obviously he's one of the greatest. So he has an interesting team. It has a ton of upside, but it also is like it could completely go in the wrong direction.
Okay, I hear that.
Yeah, let's look at Magnus's team real quick. Justy Fields, Geno Smith, same. Didn't he have these quarterbacks last year? Oh,
I
Geno
think he
was a
did.
keeper.
Or yeah, Gino was a keeper. Freaking traded for him from Caldwell.
What do you guys think about Derrick Henry? Is this guy done or is he still going?
I think he's like Frank Gore. He's still going.
I think he's still going, man. Like he hasn't really slowed down at all. I think until he shows signs of
Remember watching those
yeah.
videos of him pushing insane weight like 5 years ago? He's probably pushing more weight today.
He's still massive.
He's a big old boy.
And he probably loves proving people wrong. He probably loves that people are like, this is the year he finally gets injured.
The problem is that he's in his starting lineup right now. He's got Samjay Perine.
Yeah.
That is not how you say that name.
But
well said, Gideon. Samajay Pirine, is that how we do it?
Samjay? My bad.
Sanjay.
My bad.
I mean, you got to have a hole here and there, right?
I don't like Gus's team. It's pretty reliant on Justin Fields, which Justin Fields could have an electric season. Like this guy could be the number one quarterback, but the way they use him is just scary to me. I just don't want him on my team because it's like they just put him in the most risky situations because he's a freak. I don't like it. And then Derrick Henry, I think, is just a question mark. But he's got CD and Debo, which is cool. But then, I don't know. I don't really see anything else. He's got Cole Kmet.
I mean, he does have Derrick Henry's rookie backup as well, so he's got some insurance. You don't see any upside for Kenny Pickett this year? Couple stud wide receivers?
No, dude.
Okay, all right.
I put
Steelers,
Kenny Pickett
one of the best coaches in the league.
I put Kenny Pickett in the Mac Jones camp. It's just like, what? This guy barely wants to be out there.
Dude, it's his second year. I don't know. Jordan Love to Christian Watson could be.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I see potential still. I still see potential. I like to see potential though. I'll admit.
So it was a great draft, and then there's a lot of talk. I think the draft ended at 12 or 1 a.m.
It ended at like 12 because we left at 1. That's what.
Yeah, and the boys are scrambling. Half the group wants to go out. Half the group is like really is scared of going out.
We haven't gone out.
I was kind of on the fence, but I was dead tired. Gideon was looked for his wallet for like an hour, and then finally gave up, and then just literally fell asleep face down on the couch. And then Cobb and Charlie are the only two that end up deciding to go out, which was nuts. You guys stayed out till 5 a.m. Charlie came back, punched me in the shins while I was sleeping.
He immediately, your guys' bedroom was right inside the front door on the right. There was this sliding barn door. We walk in, Charlie literally has his bags packed, ready to go. The Uber's waiting outside. So he just comes in. We're still drunk from the club on this high. Busts the door open and just cannonballs in between you and Schwer.
Yeah, dude. I was
insane.
So terrified for my life. I just hear him open the door, slam it, start yelling fuck you guys. And then he jumps on the bed and is punching me in the legs. And then he gets out of the bed and I just hear his rolly bag roll across the floor, and then he closes the door and gets in an Uber and goes and gets on a plane.
I think he did go and just kiss Skylar goodbye really quick too. I think he was a little softer to the commish.
That's nice.
Right?
I wish I got that kind of love.
Yeah,
I proceeded to, I was because I was still kind of drunk and I was trying to stay up to see the commish at that point, really, because he was leaving in an hour and a half and I was still fired up from the club. I hit the steam room and chugged 5 bottles of water because I was in a bad place at that point. Because we were in a bad place when we got to the club, right? And this is fun, right? Charlie's probably with his girlfriend in New York getting into swanky clubs in the VIP line all the time, right? So I'm trusting him to take me to the club Because why not, right? Like he's the guy who was willing to rally with me. Like I went all the way to Miami. I'm not going out. I got
Yeah.
it. I was trying to rally anyone because my only rule was don't do stuff alone. But Gideon was out. Charlie was in the whole time, so I had all prepped. Whatever. We get there. The VIP line's packed, and we're waiting in line, and Charlie's like, we're trying to play it cool, which I am terrible at, right? Like I'm dressed like fucking complete tourist, bright colors, new haircut, you know, mountain boy, out of the element. Charlie's looking good. Well, maybe we'll make it happen. The girls in front of us are like talking to the VIP, like, what list are you on? Oh, we're on Caesar's list. Like, all right, go right ahead. So so we get up to the girl, we hand her our IDs. Girl asks, "Oh, what list are you guys on?" Charlie's like, "Oh yeah, we're on Caesar's list." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sounds great." She just looks up, looks back at us, hands us the IDs, like, "Caesar's is girls only, boys. Forget about it." Charlie's on his phone. We're trying to figure it out. I'm like, we're like hungover. We're like hungover, dehydrated. My body can't regulate its temperature. Eventually, we realize we can just walk in to this like corral, pay the cover, and go into the club. Piece of cake. Charlie leads the way. We figured out. Charlie figures it out, and I follow the lead. I had no mental capacity. Pays our $100 cover ahead. He gets it for me. He insists on it. What a
Oh my
guy,
God.
right? I don't know Charlie all that well, other than at our drafts. We
I
know each
mean,
other through
he's
the draft.
just a high roller. Of course, he's gonna.
Guy, exactly, right? And I just feel so treated. So
He's got
so
a
I had
Rolex on.
it worked out where like I'm a bartender, so I pretty much became friends with this bartender in the bar and was just like fueling whoever we were spending time with drinks. For like the rounds got cheaper and cheaper for reasons I can't divulge to public. You got to spend your time and do your due diligence, and then you too can figure out how to get cheap drinks at the club. But
Uh,
anyway, we
certain
go in.
favors? What? I'm curious.
Look,
Man.
look, I didn't have to do anything sexual at all. Just got to be a nice, good person,
You're good
thoughtful,
at that.
kind, and
You're
let
good at
everything else
that.
take care of itself. But anyway, so we go from feeling miserable to feeling amazing in about 30 minutes because we do a shot of tequila and a margarita. This is on like the first level where it's kind of dark and it's like it's more like a tavern hangout. They weren't smoking cigars, but I imagine you'd be smoking a cigar in here, right? Keeping it kind of quiet. You go up these exotic staircase. The dance floor is insane. It's got a mesh roof, club space. You can see the stars. You can watch the sunrise if Charlie didn't have to go. Insane vibes. I had to stop talking because I was getting too emotional talking to people. I had to just shut up and dance. It was
The
insane.
classic,
You
like
can't describe it.
it's the first guy in club experience. Like, this is the best night of my life.
Right. So I'm 30, right? I'm 31. I'm finally made it to a club that's made to have you have a good time. And like I also was not interested in dancing with anyone. And the club was like making sure I could dance on my own cuz everyone's like thumping with each other pretty low and I'm like fucking full out like arms, you know me. You know how I do. The whole thing. Not quite as bad as Elaine, I hope, on Seinfeld, but yeah, so like
Yeah.
we go from feeling miserable to a shot of tequila and two margaritas onto like cloud, 27, just like that.
Yeah.
And
You
then
guys went
Charlie
for it.
went straight to the airport, right? Because I'm feeling miserable again, and Charlie is sending just like you had the nightmare snaps coming from your flight home with the bathroom and this and that.
Yeah.
Charlie is sending snaps like like
Psycho.
in public, tons light noise, people. We're wasted. Like we were wasted. Ugh.
Absolute savage.
No sleep, complete savage. Yeah. So he showed me. He showed some real. I don't even know. He
Great.
showed some heart.
I
He
think
showed
it's
heart.
great. He's showing heart and perseverance, just like any professional athlete. And that goes back to our comparison. That makes sense. You guys go to the club. It's on par with how hard people work in preseason camp. So like that's our preseason.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are putting in the time. The gods look down on you favorably for sure for the work that you put in. I hope it pays off.
Yeah.
I did draft some bills, so I hope it pays off too, because it'd be the old win-win over
Yeah.
here.
Well, boys, we're at an hour and 12 minutes here. I just looked at the clock for the first time. I can't believe it.
I'm like I kind of definitely have to go in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we can call it. This was a great time. I think the cadence should be, whether it's us three or I think it's fun to bring in someone I want like Red Zone Panic podcast every Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like we're a little too relaxed today.
Yeah, like we're on the countdown 5 minutes before Chris Hansen. It's like the music. We're just like there freaking out. Games start. It's fired up. We're all yelling. I'm pulling my hair out, swearing, texting. I want it all on pod. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to wake up deathly hungover on a Sunday morning and just like roll into the podcast and just be sweating immediately and
Yeah.
freaking out about fantasy football.
Good, you're going to be here in Bellingham for week 1.
Oh,
So
yeah, it's gonna be juicy.
this is going to be juicy.
Ooh. Ooh.
So that's going to be great. But yeah, I think if we do it like an every Sunday morning, that'll be really nice.
I mean,
Okay.
I like when Sky and Schwer can make it, and I hope we did an all right job standing in, Gideon and I here. But
You guys did great.
any Sunday I can make it, I'll be there. Absolutely.
Sweet.
Sunday
All right, boys.
when rain is falling.
All right. Well, I'll push this out today, and we'll push it out to the boys. It'll be a nice surprise. And thank you, boys. Love you. Gid, your hair looks good.
Thank you.
Cobb with the. I just noticed you don't have a shirt on, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
real.
listen to this.
Keep it real.
Ah, fuck.
It definitely was
a silent fart on the podcast.
Yeah, I
Should
just
have a baby.
silent farted into the.
All right. Well, we'll make a fart. Ready?
The Ivy League extraordinary gentlemen, the League of Ivy extraordinary gentlemen. You're listening to what we say. We said we had to say. The Ivy League extraordinary gentlemen, the League of Ivy extraordinary gentlemen. You're listening to what we say. We said we had to say.